Hello there, fashion fans. Today we're going to be talking about the bags that were presented on the runways for fall winter 2025-2026. If you'll click away now, you will never find out are the bags that are gracing the runways this season. And if you do stay, you'll be able to know just which accessory to go for. Hello, my name is Maria and welcome to Design or Design. Today we are looking at handbags, purses, etc. to find out just what we're going to be expecting in the fall-winter season. Without any further ado, let's get into the first trend, and it's the embossed trend. That is when the leather has went through the process of being altered in some ways. So we're seeing kind of the reptile skins, but really they are almost never a real reptile skin, honestly. They just use a hide of a cow, for instance, and create that 3D effect by pressing onto them and manipulating it in whichever way it's necessary. I'm not a leather expert, but yeah, that is usually what is done. So we see lots of shows with having really classical shapes of bags, but having that extra little something. So it could be more of a kind of a crocodile skin, or it could be more like an ostrich leather where it has like these little circular indents in there. A variety of shows here, Roberto Cavalli having the snake as a handle, which gives it a really cool appearance, as well as in simple bags like here in Ghani. Just it adds that a little bit more emphasis. It is usually done in a more glossier finish, something like a patent leather, but here in Stella McCartney you see it being in matte finish as well, more in that ostrich skin vibes. We also see a lot of snake print bags on the runways as well, and they also have that texture to kind of support the visual illusion of it being a snake skin, which it usually is not. Alaya, Altazara, Coach, and many others shows this trend, and we do see a lots of snake skin on the runways in other garments, like in boots, in the pattern itself, lots and lots of that. And here you can see Stella McCartney, the dress and the bag being the same. Well, let's move on to our sponsor. I got a bag with an embossed something. So Teddy Blake have sent me a bag. Yay! This is a New York brand where they try to create luxury items for a sensible price. And let's get this thing opened. I was searching for a nice office style bag for a very long time that could fit like a laptop, or in my case a extra large iPad. Here we are in this dust bag, and look at this. It's like from the runways, you guys. I love the size of it. As you can see, compared to my head, it's huge, and it will fit anything business related, school related that you need. And look at that, it has different little holes depending on how full your bag is. They create these bags at the same Italian factories as other luxurious brands and follow the knowledge gathered from decades of experience in the luxury leather. Respecting the label's history, Teddy Blake bag is categorized by high quality construction, attention to detail, imaginative design, and shape and durability. And you can enjoy my discount code TBMM10 to get a little bit of a discount. But anyways, you guys, they don't carry just this one type, so you're free to check their link out. And if you do, it will honestly really help me and my channel. But anyways, now let's head into the second trend, and it's the east-west side bag, which means that basically the bags are much longer in nature and they don't really have to be like too big. Lots of clutches on the runways like this we see in Courageous. It kind of having this clutch effect, but it also has a strap so you can wear it either way. It is quite comfortable because of its size that you could fit so much things. But yes, notice the really exaggerated exaggerated lengthwise silhouettes. We see it in many shows, and it could be either like a little clutch, kind of like a wallet, like here in Stella McCartney, or maybe something with a handle. It's completely up to you. We do see this from previous seasons, and I quite like it. I feel like it's really modern, it's really neat and clean, but still has that little bit of pizzazz, that little effect of like, ooh. Here in Diesel, they have a little bit of an interesting shape to them, but they're still elongated. Givenchy here, D squared, with more of the longer silhouette. Once again, Versace as well, in a more of the chainmail situation. Yes, this is nothing crazy new. We do see it in previous seasons. And if you have it in your closet, please do wear it. I really encourage you to do so, and maybe even go thrifting and go find something like that for yourself. For something, yeah. Nina Ricci here with an exaggerated handle. I really love that one. All right, guys, next one up is a Necessaire, which is basically a kind of like I don't want to say suitcase, but a really sturdy, smaller type of bag accessory. Here in Victoria Beckham, they have interesting variety of it. It's like almost like a jewelry box that has a handle on top. We also see lots of it from Louis Vuitton from previous seasons, and this time around kind of having a hard shell of more of like a little suitcase, a little box of some sort. We'll also see this in Valentino, almost like a doctor bag, but really, really sturdy. Quite like it. I love the structured bag. All right, next one up is the kiss closure or clasp closure. So basically having a bag that has the openings with a metal bracket, if you know what I mean. Here's a little bit more of a newer variations from Givenchy. Miu Miu has a more of a vintage style, as well as etro with lots of beading on them. I understand that some of them do have a zipper, but they still have that silhouette as if this is going to be a kiss lock and you're just gonna pop it up and it's going to be there. So maybe a little bit on a vintage side, a little bit. There's some recreations of this in more modern styles, like here in Rock. But let's head into the next one, and it is the fuzzy trends. Oh my goodness, the bags were not safe from this one either. I've already mentioned in the outerwear trends and in the shoe trends, I believe as well, the furs, the fuzziness is here, and we've seen it already. So I'm sure that some of you already have something fuzzy in your closet when it comes to a purse or a bag. We see here the fuzz being like really long or on a shorter side, maybe sometimes more of like a plush toy situation, and in variety of colors as well, depending if you want to go like monochromatic or do you want to have it as a pop of color as well. We see Elisa pairing it with very elegant dresses, maybe some sheer skirts and gowns. We also see this paired more in like a sporty way, as well as just with blazers and really office-like attire. Emma's GM also really loved it when it came to more of a street style wear. They had lots of them, kind of like the same thing, almost like a pillow-esque bag that they're just holding, almost like a clutch. I really love these, although there might not be the smartest way of having a bag, just because, you know, like all the fur gets everything attracted to it. It might get dusty. If you are living in a wetter climate, usually your bag isn't like not always under your umbrella, and then it's going to be sagging. And then if you do go to the washroom and for some reason the stole does not have a hook, like where are you gonna put it? You don't want to put it on the floor. That's just gonna be gross. So you'll be just sitting there with your bag on your lap trying to do your business. And I don't know, that's not for me. I'm sorry. Anyways, some of the shows had a little bit more of a feathers effect, while others had maybe some kind of a little detail on the bag that had a little fur moment. Maybe it's the handle, maybe it's just an addition to the bag. Dolce & Gabbana had like these enormous bags in fur, kind of like a backpack situation. Really statement making for sure, but yes, don't forget how are you gonna use the washroom with that monstrosity? But it is fun. It's kind of like having a dog or a cat next to you, especially if it's nice and smooth. You can just pet it away. It's kind of like a little bit of an emotional support bag, and the fun textures definitely create an interest in your outfit that is just like nothing else. Here in Etro, there's a little bit more of a teddy effect, so it's not quite fur, it's just fuzzy, you know? And here with, once again, really large bags, and in variety. Sometimes it's more like a shearling with a little bit of fuzziness in there. Sometimes it's longer as well. Here in Fendi, once again, a little bit on the shorter side, and they put these onto their really classical bags like you see here. Really interesting take. I'm not sure if I would go into the luxury section for this, just because I don't know how long it's gonna last you. How are you gonna clean it? Are you gonna have like a little brush or a lint roller with you? I have no idea. Anyways, here we see in Ferrari, and once again more of a shorter one, as well as feathers, and Versace, a little bit of a tassel thing, I don't know. Anyways, let's head into charms. As I mentioned before, with the little handles or additions of furs, we see lots of that on the runways, having like a little bit of a maybe tiny animal thing on there, or having like a huge strap that is made of fur or something along the lines of fur. We see here in Chloe lots of chains, lots of pendants, and then sometimes off of those chains we see like little maybe rabbit feet or little like tails of, I'm not sure if those are animals, but this is definitely a very boho kind of esque feeling to this trend. I quite like it, and we've seen this trend before coming, maybe like a little bit more of an just an accessory, a little chain accessory on a bag that is not going away. As you can see on the runways, lots and lots of examples here, but the fact that there are little like furs, that's something new. Probably its popularity maybe due to the infamous Labubu doll. I'm not quite sure about it myself, but let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about the Labubu? Yeah. Anyways, as you can see here, we also see just simple chains, and Versace and several other shows just have leather floral motifs. Coach has little tiny not dolls, I guess they're like little stuffed animals, really, you know, going into the Labubu situation, but some of them were really enormous. It's like, I'm not even sure what happened. It's kind of like an accessory that's the size of a bag itself. Interesting, yes. Simon Rocha had little bunnies. Fendi here with that enormous doll, almost the size of the bag itself, as well as just regular little chains. Etro here with the florals made of leather. I quite like this one. I've seen quite a lot of it in Miu Miu, but from previous seasons. And here, really elegant and really cool looking. Quite like it. It's not like you're just gonna put something out of your closet onto the bag, although that's what I do. I just take the like necklaces that I don't wear and just accessorize my bag. No waste of, you know, money, resources, or anything, and just getting creative. Anyways, next trend is the micro bag. We're continuing from the accessories into the micro bags because there are so many little tiny additions to a bag that it's kind of like an accessory for a bag, but it's also a bag. I hope that makes sense. We see Ganni here and the previous videos that you just watched, Fendi with tiny little additions. It could be a little wallet, I guess, that you can just hook onto your bag, or it could be several miniature bags combined together. It could be a case for sunglasses like here in Michael Kors, although I would prefer my sunglasses to be inside a purse, you know, like not get more scratched up. But anyways, moving on to just the purse themselves. Here in Gucci, they have, it's not a micro, it's a mini bag, but still there's almost nothing that you could put in there. It's just there for the visual accessory. When choosing a micro bag on its own, please think about your proportions. If you are bigger, then the small bag will make you look bigger, because on the comparison to things, you will look bigger to this tiny bag. You know what I mean? The same works the other way, of course. If you're really tiny and you have a huge bag, that bag will make you look even tinier. However, these little accessories are there. I know that I don't like these tiny bags just because then I have all the other things that I need to put inside a bag in my hands, and that's not really practical. Maybe as an accessory for a bag, that would be really cute. We also see a lot of tiny little kind of bagish things on a necklace chain, like here in Coach. We also seen it in Louis Vuitton, kind of covering, I don't know, is that a compass, is it a watch? I'm not sure. But these tiny little bags, yeah, they're cool. Maybe they're for your headphones. Maybe it's like a little lip gloss in there. I quite like this. There is a tendency of having like this pendant bag thing. It is quite neat. I haven't seen a lot of it on streetwear, so it might be something interesting for you to try out. We also see some things decorating the belts as well, like here, but the tiny little clutches, I guess, have a way to sneak into the runways, just because, you know, we all need a little clutch that will work great with an evening gown, although we don't have that evening gown to go to anyway. Givenchy here, once again, with a little bit of a clutch situation. It might be even like carrying some alcohol inside if you need, you know? All right, here are some Simon Rocha examples with, once again, belted accessories, so little purse or little wallet attached to a belt. I quite like this as it leaves your hands nice and free for other use. Some of them had an additional bag, which is totally fine as well. This is great for when you're going to like a concert or something where you want to dance and you don't want to lose your bag. Anyways, here in Zimmermann, a little bit more of a bohemian vibe with a wider belt and a little bit more like a little drawstring bag, quite like that one. And we are moving into more of the voluminous one. I know this is not part of the micro bags. Here we go, Ferragamo having these huge, almost like 2 full-size purses on the hips. I quite like what it does to the silhouette though, because it adds that additional volume there on the lower hips, which is really cool. Off-white here with the men's variation of this, a little bit more of a I'm a carpenter, okay? And I'm here to fix something for you. Although this is quite convenient, but let's go into the fortune cookie. I quite like this trend. It is kind of like having a silhouette of a fortune cookie. Here we see it being like this, with the strap kind of making that shape once you hold it and the weight, you know what I mean? We also see lots of this, like here in Burberry, quite a simple shape. It's reminding me of a hobo style bag with a rounded bottom, but the slouchiness of it just creates that fortune cookie effect that I just love. I love fortune cookies. Like I'm not really a fan of the whole fortune, but like they're so tasty. Sometimes they have a similarity with a saddle bag as well, but yes, we're looking more into a little bit of a slouchier effect, a little bit of a more bohemian styles. We are going into bohemian styles, you guys. There's no way around it. If you like that trend, make sure to wear it. Well, for this one, I feel like it can fit many different styles. Like here in Fendi, it's more of a structured one. It's as if a graphic designer created a fortune cookie, quite like it. As I mentioned, there are so many different styles that can rock this look. It can go from a little bit less structured to a little bit more structured, just depending. Like here in Vivetta, I have that kind of a similar sized bag, similar shaped bag. Quite like it. Zimmermann here with kind of like a little bit of an interesting shape once again, but more structured and coming in with a variety of textures and sizes. Here in Miu, kind of on a smaller side, really elegant, really nice, does not take away from the outfit, but sometimes if it's an interesting print or an interesting texture, then it can actually add something interesting. All right, next one up is my favorite. Is that a bag? All right, so several shows have presented us really unique bags that are kind of like, oh, can you actually put something inside? And starting here with Simon Rocha with turtles and huge rabbits, like a stuffed rabbit that is also a bag. This room takes me back to my childhood. I had a stuffed toy that had a zipper, and I hid everything in there. Moschino loves this. So they had a bottle of wine, they had spaghetti, they had flour bag, they had garbage bags, and these are so fun. The internet is having a blast with these. There are so many creators loving it. Alaya here with a huge bracelet on this, as I feel like it's a bag, maybe just a little sphere. Vivetta here with a heart-shaped something. Really love these. These are definitely statement making and a conversation starter. We see here with Chanel with the huge pearls. It's like a necklace with a huge one pearl on there, and then it opens up and you can, I don't know, what can you put in there? Maybe a credit card and a lip gloss, maybe some car keys, but definitely not your phone. We also have a variation of a bracelet bag in Chanel, as well as Alexander McQueen with a little pearl droplet / disco ball. All right, next one up is a little bit more wearable, a little bit something that we can relate to, and it's a kind of a fold over bag. It's usually totes that have been styled in a way that you can kind of wear them like this in a more fashion forward way of wearing a tote. That is pretty much all. But there are some shows like Acne Studios that actually have a closure for you to wear the bag like this in a folded manner. So they were designed to be styled like this, but you can also just wear it as a regular tote bag if you desire. Some of them don't have the straps. Some of them might be hidden. Here at Versace, tote bags in those scarf prints, just folded over. Stella McCartney having that effect as well. Nina Ricci, lots and lots of shows. And you can always wear it fully if you need more room. But if it's taking too much space, just fold it over and wear it like that. Really love the handles there. We also see lots of totes. This is nothing crazy, just simple totes that were worn in the right way and not folded over. Quite like that. It is a really convenient bag that can be used. Here Coach has something between a tote and a bucket bag. Quite like it in different colors, which is really cool when you have a full neutrals outfits with a statement bag. Quite like that idea. Ulla Johnson here with more of a woven leathers. Really love that one as well. Gives a little bit more boho vintage vibes. Really love it. Victoria Beckham here with really interesting design. I quite like it. Not sure how that would be, viable in everyday life, but they have this one handle. So it's not like a bag that is, you have to carry it. You have to put some weight. I quite like it. Hopefully there's an addition where you can tie this ring to another side and you can wear it as regular. Anyways, next one up is the office. We see the office core going off. Designers are trying to get us back to offices so we can earn more money and get those really expensive products that they're pushing to us. They just want us back. They want us to have money. Thank you so much. But you know what? I do love a nice structured bag that can hold things. Exhibit A. But anyways, we see them in lots of shows, some a little bit on a sloucher side, a little bit more of a lived-in feel to them, but they have the size for, a laptop. They have a sturdier shape in some occasions. They have more a little bit of a suitcase, or if the clutch is a huge clutch like here in Chanel, where you can fit a laptop. It might be just more of a structured examples, maybe something with more sections like here. For me, a structured bag is always a must-have, just because sometimes my outfit isn't always super sharp. So when I take my really sharp, kind of elegant office-like bag, then it uplifts my outfit just a little bit so I don't look like a slob to everybody. We also see almost like a letter type of a bag with a missing little corner. But anyways, let's head into the slouchy bags. Yes, the tendency is going towards more slouchiness, on the runways. We see really oversized hobo bags, something that's really soft and you can kind of squeeze. Like here, Chanel even has the bags in shape of a bows. Diesel here with more like a bag that is a scrunchy. But sometimes, as I mentioned, if you kind of have this really casual look and you have this really soft looking bag, it can just take you more into that direction. I prefer having this contrast of maybe super tailored looks and then having this bag kind of making it more casual or just a really fun accent. Balmain almost clutches that were belted and it's being squeezed like that. Gucci here, it looks like as if it should be structured, but it's really soft and kind of falls onto itself because of it. Also just regular bags like that. Moschino had a few of these really massive oversized slouchiness. Marni here with a few, somewhat of a mix between structured and not. So it has the structure on the side, but then the sides are kind of like a drawstring situation here. Quite like it. I remember my mom had a bag like that. Anyways, let's move on to the overnight bag. You know what? It's time for us to start traveling, says Maria. Okay, that's not gonna happen. Anyways, we see lots of really oversized bags that are perfect for travel. Something like a duffel bag, maybe a little bit more of a structured bags that you put all of your essentials in. And here, Alexander McQueen, they even have the scarves as a little bit of a tail effect. Burberry with many of these. Diesel as well. Yeah. Maybe it's a gym bag, or maybe you just have nowhere to live, so you have to carry everything that you're in that. Well, pretty sure if you bought the Burberry bag, then that is exactly the point. Anyways, more of it in Ganni. Some of them are more of a boho looks. Gucci had several of these suede bags in different colors. Louis Vuitton here with, once again, more of like that gym bag, overnight bag. Let's go to the Hamptons and sleep in a tent there because, you know, it's expensive. Okay, guys, yes, I am poor. I don't have lots of money. But anyways, and next trend would be the studs on purse. So decorating the purse, the bags with these studded things. Altazara here with the rounded ones. We see D squared with more of a Western flair to it. Ganni here with more sparkle. We see Jill Sanders, a little bit more modern take on it with metallic accessorization. Chanel even had something along the lines. Sometimes it was kind of just a decorated bag with brooches. Bali, as well as lots of other shows like Valentino and Schiaparelli, I believe, they had lots of those accessorization of the bag using the metal rounded metallic hardware on the outside. The Schiaparelli creating different designs using it. Versace also had that, giving it a little bit more of a Western flair. Really like that idea, and it honestly protects the bag itself. You know how usually the bags have little tiny feet like that, so the leather on the bottom won't be damaged. For bags like this, it protects it all around. Love it. The only thing is, might be like if you have lots of wear and tear, then those gold plated ones would rub off. That's the only thing that I'm thinking about, but those Schiaparelli ones, I love them, and I would really appreciate them sending something to me. Yeah, like that's ever gonna happen. But anyways, we still see those little faces on there. We see maybe the bag is not fully dosed in it, but having just like little accents on it. All right, next one up we have, I'm not even sure what these are called. Let's see. Kind of like bowling bags, but in miniature version. We see them as purses in Miu Miu show, here in Stella McCartney, and many other shows like Y3 and even even Chanel. So having this more of a squared out look to them with a zipper and handles, that is kind of the vibe we're going for. This is very simple bag. We've seen it already. Is there anything new to it? Probably not, but that means that if you have it, you can still wear it. That's great. Great news. Jill Sander here with a little bit more of modern take on it. Sometimes it's like on a diagonal, on an angle. Hopefully that makes sense. And these are really comfortable to have as they are fully closed. You're not going to lose anything out of it if you fall in the middle of the street because you're wearing really baggy pants, which happens to me with a bucket bag. But you can put anything in it. You can use it as an overnight bag in some ways if it's big enough. And sometimes it is really structured and really cool looking, so I quite like it. Yes, lots of shows, sometimes they had external pockets for extra things, like here in Coach. We also see this in Dolce & Gabbana, more of the street style, rugged bags that had like a life of their own, something that reminds me of the Balenciaga street, whatever it's called, you know what I mean. And of course, lots of much more smaller versions on the runway as well. Here, Ferrari, almost looking more like a doctor bag, but I still quite like it. Coming in with a variety of different colors of leather, sometimes burgundy, sometimes brown, sometimes, you know, the occasional classical black, and even mint green. Sometimes these bags look as if there are men's vanity kits, you know what I mean? Like they're so tiny, like square shaped, and you're just walking with your toothbrush inside and toothpaste and some floss. Sam and Rocha had more of that with belting on top, so I really like how it's kind of multi-use, so you can wear it in different ways. And we have gotten to the trend that I want to talk about. Yes, the video is almost about to be done. And it is matching completely, well, not always completely, but matching the bag to your outfit. So it's kind of like camouflage. I'm not sure why you would want to do this. There's lots of shows that pair maybe like the color, like Ellie Sapp here, the color of the coat to the bag. Or maybe the entire coat is exactly the same texture and color as the bag. Or Fendi here. The coat, yes, you can see. Ferragamo with the dress and the bag. Altuzarra with the same studded things everywhere. And sometimes they were just using the color as creating completely one single hue all over, like here in Ferrari. We also see more of like the texture, and like here in Ulla Johnson, the full outfit in Chanel, everything the same. I find it a little bit boring, and this is gonna be a really expensive outfit that you can only wear once. But then I guess you can like mix and match things, maybe have a blazer and a bag, or have the pants and wear the bag on your shoulder with something else. But yeah, I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan, as the bag kind of gets lost in your look, and I don't know, I don't like it. I'm okay if it's monochromatic but then the hues are a little bit different. That is fine for me. But when it's exactly the same color and even the same texture, then you just don't even see it. Maybe it's a great anti-theft device when you're like, the robber's like, I don't know where the bag is. Well, anyways, you guys, this completes the video. I really appreciate you watching to the end. So let's put an emoji in for the bags. Just put a purse in the comments below so I'll know that you watched to the end. Another way you can support my channel is by liking this video and sharing it with somebody that you know loves purses and bags. And if you do want to watch how I dress daily, what bags I have, make sure to check out my Instagram where I share my daily outfits if I ever go out, which is not quite often nowadays because I'm working, editing, trying to get you videos every single week. Once again, thank you Teddy Blake for sponsoring this video and sending me this. Make sure to check them out in the description box below. There will be a link. But other than that, I hope you have an amazing rest of the day, and yeah, stay classy. Bye.